Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Going to be working on Mr. Jones today, but first I have a confession. Now, when I was 18, 19, I worked in a body shop and I know better, but I did it anyway. Months ago, I was grinding too close to Big Red, and as you can see, the grinding has turned to rust. That's just the little flakes. I thought I was far enough away from the truck that it would be fine, but this is like bugging me. So anyways, I have a little CLR I'm trying to soak on a rag and try to get some of it off, but anyways, just one of those don't do's. A little bit of the sparks got on the new bumper on Mr. Jones, but some of it's coming off. So anyways, just something I know not to do. Don't grind next to a daggum car. Hot metal will melt into the paint and it messes it up. There's ants in here for some reason. Anyways, something just to remember, guys. Don't grind near cars, cover them up, whatever. But anyway, we're gonna get working on Mr. Jones. As you know, we got it cranked the other day. So now we need to tidy some things up, and we also need to get her to driving. So probably gonna go ahead and get a thermostat off. We need to send that off to my cousin, A-Bomb79, and probably gonna get work on these brakes. So let's go. Okay, so I got the water neck off. I'm just gonna run through this one more time with you guys. This is small block Chevrolet water neck, and it's just a like $15 little swivel head. This is the big Mopar bolt pattern thermostat housing, and as you can see, the Chevrolet, it did seal on the intake, but this is literally, look at this, like you can't have the thermostat in there. So what's gonna happen, I'm gonna go to Adam's machine shop. He's gonna cut it about here where these two meet, and then I'm gonna have him kind of from here to here make it the same level so that this is the same height as it just was in the car. So cut this one about here, weld it on, and that'll be it for our thermostat housing. That'll you know, they do make I think CVR or something like that makes a Mopar housing that swivels and all that, but they're like $110 or something. And you know, anyways, we're on a budget, so that's how we're gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and go tighten all the brake lines. I went ahead and put it back on the skates. I'm gonna tighten all the brake lines, put some fluid in it, and try gravity bleeding, see how far we get with that, see if we can get a pedal on this thing. All right, so went ahead and got underneath, made sure all the brake lines were tight, and actually forgot I thought I had brake fluid and I didn't, so I just wasted some time going to the store. Filled up the reservoir, and under the back here, like I said, I want to try gravity bleeding to start so we can get this whole deal going. And down here I have a little bottle with hose hooked to my bleeder on my furthest from the reservoir brake here. So anyway, see if we can get something draining down here. I'd like to go ahead and open all 4 bleeders, but I don't want to make a mess in the garage. So I think what I'm gonna do is come over here to the other side and crack it, and just whenever I start getting some fluid, then just close it back. But see what we can get here. Already have a leak, so thought I tightened everything, but I don't know if one of our flares is bad or what. So let me check this thing out here. I have some line wrenches, gonna try to tighten these up more. All right, so bleeding these brakes, had a little bit of carnage here. Didn't even need to be. Check this out. So what was happening, just doing the gravity bleed, and I see it leaking. I see drips coming from this bolt right here off the hose. So I thought the little crush sleeve wasn't sealing, so I went ahead and took it off, made a big mess. The caliper was full at that point with brake fluid, so it leaked It just doused everything out of that. I put a new crush sleeve in there, and got to thinking, it was actually the bleeder. I had it backed out so far, it was bleeding off from the threads on the bleeder instead of going through, well, it was going through the hose as well. I mean, you can see this was empty, and now I bled a lot of brake fluid out of there unintentionally. Wasn't really paying attention. I was trying to figure out this leak. So that was an oops, it wasn't actually leaking, and that caliper's full, so I'm just gonna keep moseying around and hopefully get them all done here. Okay, so I have fluid to both of the back wheels. This right front one isn't wanting to bleed, I think because of all the hoops and stuff in the line. So I have a Mighty Vac pump here, and I'm gonna give him some help, see if we can get some fluid through it. There we go. See fluid coming. A lot of bubbles, I'm gonna give it a second. Just gonna hold my finger over the hole. That way it doesn't suck air. And tighten him up. Alright, sit the driver's front, see if we got any foot pedal. My goal of not making a mess has failed, by the way. This one's happy. It gravity bled out. So the pistons on all the calipers should be retracted right now. So the first few pumps is going to be pushing those caliper pistons out, and then we should build pressure. Not building pressure yet. Let's see if we're running out of sauce. I just filled her up. Sauce is fine. Leaks. I don't see any leaks. That's old over there. Keep pumping. So let me tell you a little secret. I've never owned something with manual brakes. So I don't know how much you're gonna pump up, but they are pumping up. I think we may have a little bit of air. I'm gonna let them sit, let the air settle. Might have a little bit of bubbles in the, like from me pumping it, might have a little bubbles, foam in the lines. So we're gonna let that just kind of work itself to the bleeder. Do a couple purges on the valves, on the bleeders, on all the way around. And I think we'll be good. Okay, so real quick, just want to show you the Mighty Vac. They make other brands, but hook it up like this for brake bleeding. And on the inside, you have a tube. And just want to make sure that tube is on the brake side. You don't want to be sucking it into your vacuum gun. That's it. And it just sucks it right in. One person bleeding. And this thing can be used for other stuff too. Okay, I just went ahead and cracked all the bleeders one more time. Let's see if we have some pedal here. Well, it's feeling pretty good. But like I said, first manual brake car that I've had. So I'm gonna end the brakes right there for today because there's nothing else I can really do. I'm gonna wait until maybe we have David or something help me. We can spin the tires and see if we're getting some good pressure on the brakes. And you know, might have to just do one final bleed. That's okay. we're just trying to make progress day after day and get the car on the road. So, yep, been out here a couple hours and got that done. So I think I'm gonna throw some P-clips in on the brake lines and the fuel lines, tidy those up underneath the car. And today's Halloween, so I'll probably go ahead and call it a day. Okay, so I got a couple of P-clips, and also sometimes called cushion clips because of the ones that I have a little rubber cushion in them. But just use a little self-tapping screw and show you how it looks. And then on the brake side, I actually had 2 of the original brackets, so I just drilled a hole in the frame and used those. So there's these were the factory brake line clips, so I just reuse those. Then for the fuel line, have these big P clips, cushion clips, and just put the self-tapper in the frame. Looks good. I'm happy with it. They're in there secure. They can't rub each other, so it looks good. So then here on the outside of the subframe connector, I have 2 small cushion clips with 1 screw in the middle, because I have them both turned here in the middle. Keep those separated, keep them off the frame. Everything looking good. So we got a few things done today, and it's about 5 o'clock, Halloween, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Also have to get ready for fishing tomorrow. Dad got a new boat, so if you wanna watch that, go over to the fishing channel. That'll be in the description. But yeah, making progress on Mr. Jones. And I do just want to say real quick, Mr. Jones got his name from the previous owner. The previous owner was a huge Mopar guy. He had a field of Mopars, like a salvage yard pretty much. But his last name was Jones. He was terminal with cancer, and I just thought that the name was proper. So Mr. Jones it is. All right guys, I'm out of here. Hope y'all have a good Halloween. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time.